Today we're checking out Unbreakable Sub-Zero, perhaps one of the most underrated characters in Mortal Kombat history, at least as far as NetherRealm games go. If you look up any tier list about this game, chances are Unbreakable Sub-Zero is either at the very bottom or he's in the bottom 5. But does he deserve such scrutiny or is he misunderstood? Without any further ado, let's find out. First up, we have the Frozen Aura. This ability causes Sub-Zero to take 0 block damage. And I'm not kidding, like none at all. Not reduced block damage, just no block damage, period. And in case you don't believe me, I'm gonna go ahead and take control of Reptile and just tell him to come forward and do a basic string on me, and you're about to see that it does literally no damage on block. Alright, here we go, pop the aura, and then just hold block, and check this out. Watch my health bar. Literally nothing. Watch the screen too. There are no numbers when he's attacking me because I'm taking literally no block damage right now. And now for contrast, I'm just gonna block here without the aura, and notice I do take a tiny bit of block damage. 4 hits in total, decent damage to my health bar. I mean, this is Mortal Kombat. Block damage is very real in this series. You can die from block damage alone. And as a result, having a move that just completely takes block damage off the table is pretty remarkable if you ask me. There's plenty of characters in NetherRealm games who can reduce the block damage they take, but for a character to take 0 block damage is extremely rare. I think this might be the only character who can do that. But guess what? We're not done because this move is also a damage buff on your Ice Burst. It now does 13% damage instead of the regular 9%, so a pretty good increase for no meter. And would you believe me if I told you this move is also a combo extender? Well, it is with the enhanced Ice Slide. Look at that. The opponent's now frozen in place, do a neutral jump punch, get your combo going. And here's the thing. Normally Sub-Zero's attacks after the freeze do way less damage. Look at this, 10% instead of the original 14%. That's a big damage reduction. Now if you spin the bar, the damage reduction is lessened a little bit. Now it does 12%, but originally it did 14. But now let's look at the damage after the Icy Slide. We are now going to get 8% damage, not too bad. Overall, the combo damage was way more than a regular freeze. Or in other words, if you have Aura activated, the Icy Slide becomes one of your best way to extend combos for Sub-Zero. Pretty cool stuff. And believe it or not, we're still not done because Frozen Aura can also extend combos without spending any meter. Now, to be fair, it is very specific and the timing is also very difficult. However, once you do master it, you get some pretty decent damage from mid-screen, especially for Sub-Zero. Normally, this guy gets no damage outside of the corner, but in this variation, everything changes. 35% for no meter is very, very good for Sub-Zero, especially without the corner. And I bet all of this sounds really amazing. We've only discussed one move so far, and Sub-Zero seems really, really good in this variation, right? Well, here's all the downsides. Taking no block damage seems really, really cool and great for countering keep away, but here's the thing. Sub-Zero already does that really well with his Ice Ball. If you both trade projectiles, he gets hit, but you get frozen. He can run in and land a full combo. And then when you combine this with his Ice Clone in the Grandmaster variation, Sub-Zero does not struggle against any keep away characters whatsoever, so taking no block damage isn't that needed. But hey, at least the combo damage is good, right? Extending combos for no meter is really, really cool. Yes and no. The combo damage is great, but it's really hard to actually hit confirm. Typically, you just have to dial it in and hope for the best. And that's a really big deal because if you do this on block by mistake, the opponent just gets a free combo. Look at this. I don't have time to block before the opponent can hit me. Unlike Kotal Khan and certain other characters, I can't activate my buff on block. It's not possible. I can be punished every single time unless I spend a meter. And having to spend a meter just to keep yourself safe is not a good thing in this game, especially not for Sub-Zero. But hey, now let's talk about the enhanced version of Frozen Aura. It activates much faster and recovers much faster, which means it's safe on block, but then to make things even better, it's way easier to combo after as well. Pretty much every string now can combo as long as you spend bar on Frozen Aura. And that's a big deal because it means his low now leads to a full combo on top of his overhead, which already leads to a full combo and does a lot of damage. So yeah, when it comes to offense, the enhanced aura is way better. It's safe on block most of the time and is way easier to extend combos. Pretty much every hit now combos after this move. So yeah, it's combo city. And then finally for the cherry on top, Sub-Zero also takes less damage. About a third less damage, in fact. So for example, if the opponent hits you and does a combo that would normally do 30% damage, now it's only doing 20% damage. However, once again, this move has its cons. As mentioned earlier, nothing in this variation is as it seems. There's always a downside for every upside. While being safe on block is nice, most characters in this game can activate a buff like this and then keep their pressure going because they're plus on block, and sadly Sub-Zero can't do that. If you activate Frozen Aura and then try to keep attacking, you're going to lose every time, especially if the opponent has armor, because Sub-Zero doesn't have any strings that hit fast enough to break armor. And as a result, blocking is your only option, which sucks because once the opponent starts going, they can pressure you into 50-50s, throw mix-ups, all that annoying stuff. So oddly enough, a variation that's all about defense sure is great at putting you in a bad situation over and over again. But thankfully, there is an answer: the Barrier of Frost. If the opponent expects you to do the aura instead and you go for this, they get frozen for a full combo because it's a parry. That's right, we got KD parries in this variation. And that's a big deal because without this parry, Unbreakable Sub-Zero would be a useless variation because the opponent could just take their turn back every single time, but this move makes them second guess themselves. This move activates very quickly at 6 frames, which means when used after pretty much any string, it keeps Sub-Zero safe. If the opponent goes for a counterattack, they're going to get frozen. That's right, not just damage, they get frozen, which means they're stuck there for a full combo. That's a really big deal. In fact, the opponent is frozen for so long that you can activate Aura and then keep your combo going afterwards, which is nice because don't forget that move buffs a lot of your attacks. If you want maximum combo damage, then you have to activate the Aura, so thankfully you have time to do that after landing the parry. And then you have the enhanced version, which activates in half the time. That's right, 3 frames. That is remarkably fast in this game, but honestly, you need it sometimes. And believe it or not, some parries in past games like Injustice were 0 frames, so 3 frames is great, but by no means the fastest parry in a NetherRealm game, but it's still good. Once again, the main point of this move is to make the opponent second guess themselves. They think you're going for the frost activation, but nope, you're going for the parry, and now they're frozen for a full combo. And then for the cherry on top, this move does not reduce combo damage that much. Look at that uppercut, it did 13%. Don't forget, by default it does 14, so only 1 less percent after being frozen. That's not a very big reduction, that's good. However, you likely already know what comes next, the downsides of this move. It has a couple. For starters, it can't parry any jump-ins. To give you an example, I'm gonna tell Reptile to just jump at me and do a kick. Alright, a basic jumping kick. Doesn't work. I can do it super early and hold it, still doesn't work. This parry does not work on airborne opponents, and that's a big deal, especially at the casual level. You know beginners love to jump over and over again, and it's a darn shame this parry can't stop that, because if it could, it would be really good at the casual level. Now the good news is I'm pretty sure the attack has to be done while in the air, not just an attack that puts you airborne, but let me go ahead and check. Oh, he went over me. That's interesting. Let me try and stay far away, maybe. I'll do like... Yes, it still works. Okay, I thought so. So this move can parry airborne attacks, but not if they're started from the air. And then for some even more good news, this move also hits on both sides of Sub-Zero. I know it doesn't seem like it, but if Scorpion teleports and I do this, I can still parry him. So yeah, make no mistake, this variation has some stuff going for it, but the pros and cons are pretty much even and negate each other. Is it nice to have a parry? Yes, absolutely, and it's fast and hits on both sides, but it loses to jump-ins, and the recovery on it is massive. If I mess up with this thing, the opponent has time to punish me with pretty much anything. Or in other words, if I go for a string and expect the opponent to punish me right away, and they don't, they can now just neutral jump punch and get a full combo on me. That's not good. Put simply, both Sub-Zero and the opponent are guessing on block. I could go for the aura to buff myself, or go for more pressure on block, or I could do the barrier, which will stop you trying to counterattack me on block. Every single time the opponent has to guess, but I also have to guess too. It's pretty much an equal risk and reward for both of us. And believe it or not, that's all Sub-Zero gets in this variation. He gets the aura and he gets the barrier. And I think we covered everything in some pretty good depth. The frozen aura is great for dealing with keep away, but so is pretty much every variation that Sub-Zero has, because he has the ice ball, and the Grandmaster build has the clone, which when combined with the ice ball is also very great for countering keep away. And while the combo damage is great, especially from mid-screen, once you get to the corner, his combo damage becomes pretty much average for every variation, which would be fine, except the Grandmaster variation is broken in the corner. He can pretty much keep you there all day, so why pick Unbreakable when you can corner the opponent with Grandmaster and pretty much win the round? Unless you keep the opponent mid-screen the entire match, Unbreakable does not have the highest damage of the variations. And then on top of that, the mix-ups go down too. Sure, you can get a 50-50 in this game after the activation. If the opponent's scared and doesn't know how to take their turn back, or just doesn't have meter to armor, you could go for the low or the overhead and get a full combo. But guess what? Cryomancer can do that too, and also has the unblockable throw mix-up. It has a command grab to make even more mix-up options on block, which you don't get in this variation. And that's why I think so many players consider this the worst variation in the game. Not because it's bad, but just because there's no reason to pick it over any other variation. Even if you're a die-hard Sub-Zero main, there's no reason to pick this variation over the other two unless you simply just like it for whatever reason. In a way, it's a lot like picking Warrior Predator, right? It's a fun variation to be sure, but why would you ever pick it over Predator or Hish Q10? It's simply inferior. And in fact, I'd go even further and say this variation has no advantage over any other variation variation in the game, not just Sub-Zero's variations, but every variation. If you took this tool set and gave it to anybody else besides Sub-Zero, I don't think they would benefit very much. Thank God Sub-Zero has the Ice Ball, otherwise this wouldn't be that great. But hey, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think this variation is bad and is everybody correct, or are they wrong and it's just underappreciated and underrated? And then while you're down there posting that comment, make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell, that way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.